Hey guys, Mr. America here. So by the time this video goes up, I should be in America. We are gonna be reacting to this Buckle's account progression as of Trailblaze level 55 in the big 2026. So one very important thing I noticed is that apparently his luck is the bottom 27.7% in the entirety of HSR. Bro is even using a default streamer webcam setup, which is really interesting, right? So without further ado, let's take a peek at what that is.
Hey guys, MrPokke here, back again with another video. So today we'll be just taking a look at how my account went ahead to progress through MOC for the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I hope that this video will just serve as a benchmark as to
Bro,
all other fellow players out there with a similar account to my caliber.
He sounds
this
so
is not like
so
a complete
calm.
MOC guide because I
the
understand everybody's
Pokey's music
accounts may have
village.
different sort of units.
I'm
Some
gonna
people
cry,
may have Japat or Bailu, which are fortunate enough, unfortunately not for me. Or some people's account may only have one Celia or one Jingyuan, which is gonna be in a worse spot than me. But yeah, it's not meant to be an all-encompassing how to clear MOC guide, but it's just to help people to see that, especially if you guys have an account that's very similar to my level, right? How you guys can try to push through MOC as much as possible with whatever you have. So that I hope that this can be used as like a reference or a guide to try to achieve some similar standards such as mine, right?
I see.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at how I've progressed so far in MOC.
Oh wow.
I just want to say that the actual difficulty itself between stage 1 and 5, I wouldn't say it's extremely difficult, but it's definitely not a walk in the park either. I definitely had to reset a few tries just for the full 3 stars. So yeah, it's definitely not meant to be easy. So if you guys have the patience to try to grind out the perfect RNG to make sure that your supports don't die and all that kind of stuff, then I think it's possible to do 15 stars relatively
15
stars compared to all the later stages. So I'm just going to be going through stage by stage. Unfortunately, I don't really have the footage for 1, 2, and 3 because I think they are more
negative zero cycle them.
Really quite straightforward. I
just Goldman arm like them. They die in 2 seconds.
As well as my attempt on stage 6, which I still haven't cleared up to this day, and I'll go through.
Wait, bro, can't clear MOC stage 6.
Right, so for MOC 1, I think it's pretty straightforward. Japat is gonna be, I would say, the harder boss between these two. So you would ideally want to place your hyper carries, at least the more developed carry, into the Japat team, right? So because of this, I'll have opted to go for my Silly team into the Japat.
Silly team into Japat. Wow, he put for both Silla and Jingyuan.
This applies to not just MOC 1, but it applies to MOC, every single MOC stage. So I think you guys can use some of the principles that I'm applying here.
I'm gonna keep it about. You know what Buckle's account was lacking back then? A Bailu, bro. If Prime Pokey had Bailu back then, I feel like without a shadow of a doubt, he will be able to clear stage 10. But the lack of a Bailu sustain was very questionable. Also, why the hell are like half his units level 67, half his units level 68? Because back then, we were leaving our units not at max level because you could overworld farm, bro. Like back in my days, right? You could literally go around like Xianzhou and like J6 and like the space station to get free EXP by clearing overworld mobs back in my days. And then we were just doing that as like our dailies for free credits and free EXP. Way back then. Oh shit.
Own accounts, even if you don't have exactly the same units that I have or exactly the same degree.
Funny enough, I had a job here, guys. I had a full-time job here, by the way.
Here can be
in the fucking finance.
Everybody, right?
But okay.
So number 1, you always want to have 2 carries. So just decide which your carries are. So for me, it's going to be Celia and Jingyuan. Previously in the past, I have cleared MOC 1 as well, and I didn't have Jingyuan. So what I did previously was essentially just use.
So you're saying Jingyuan is trash?
Carry. And then for this team, it's just going to be Fire MC, Hook, and Asta with
Hook.
March 7. Because March 7 synergizes quite well with Fire MC since she gives
Bro says Hook can replace Jingyuan, bro.
Team since I have Jingyuan now.
Bro says Hook can replace. Oh, that is fucking crazy.
So after settling the hyper carrying decision, what do you do for the rest, right? Next, you're gonna want
that's
supports.
a great question.
So right now in the game, we currently have, I would say, 3 supports that are mainstream, right? So
mainstream
Asta, Jingyuan, and Bronya. So how do you allocate this?
There it is.
As some of you all have checked out my
Jingyuan, Bronya.
Jingyuan analysis video, I would highly recommend you guys to pair Tingyun and Asta with Jingyun, and then you pair Bronya with Silly, because this will give you the highest amount of synergy between both teams. Now, although Bronya and Tingyun should technically give Jingyun a higher DPS, but Asta and Silly doesn't really work well with each other, because she really wants the extra turn that's given by Bronya, and Bronya also buffs Silly's crit damage, which is something that she desperately needs to have, that big huge PP out damage that you can see from all the YouTube compilations. So, yeah, Silly and Bronya in one team, and Jingyun, Tingyun, and Asta.
That's why they call him
the reason why I put
the Big
Jingyun on top is because I know that my Jingyun's degree of strength is not going to be as close to Silly, right? So my Silly is going to be stronger, and therefore I placed her in the stage with Japat. Now, this will change if the boss has a recommended type, which essentially happens if both bosses are weak to the element. If you see that the recommended type is, for example, if this stage recommended type is Quantum and this stage is Lightning, then feel free to swap the orders and place Jingyun below and Silly on top, if they match both bosses' weaknesses. But if not, you just go with whichever is stronger to fit into the harder difficulty boss. So in this case, it's going to be Japat, so I'm going to be pairing Silly. Now, how do you decide the tank, or rather your healers, and how do you allocate this? This is especially relevant for players like me who don't have Japat nor Bailu. Like, our only healers right now is going to be Natasha,
nor
and our only tank is going to be
bro, we were like
Fire
sustain lock, bro.
So
bro,
if you guys
back in my days,
this,
we were desperate for a Japart and Bailu, by the way. If you had a Japart or a Bailu back in my days, you were literally like busting. It was a prime account, right? Back in my days, there was no such thing as a free Gallagher, right? There was no such thing as Gallagher, period, right? And you can't get a free DHPD. So people were so desperate for a sustain. You wish you had a Bailu, bro. You wish you either had a Bailu or a Japar, right? So nowadays, when y'all see that, oh my god, they're so ass, just remember that back in my days, they were the ones that pushed the very first Memory of Chaos clear, right? So, and what to do?
March and Natasha, I highly recommend you guys to go and build them up. Even if you have Bailu,
highly
you
recommend.
should still build them up, because honestly, you need two healers. So Natasha is no-brainer. Until the day Losha comes and you can pull on his banner, Natasha is going to be a mainstay for Memory of Chaos. And honestly, even if Losha comes,
is amazing.
Natasha might still even see some use, because Natasha has something that Bailu doesn't have, which is the ability to dispel crowd control. And it's actually valuable
crowd control dispel.
So
that is
Natasha might not even
absolutely
get
absurd.
That fast after Losha.
Natasha might not.
Natasha for sure. As for March, I think if you don't have Japat, you definitely need to raise March, because I was having so much difficulty,
you know what I'm
struggling
saying?
so hard without raising March, because my team was just completely collapsing. Like, I just couldn't keep up with the amount of damage they do. But the moment I raised March up and built her tracers and built her relic, and more or less to an acceptable degree, but once you get her to like a more or less mediocre standard, the shield she provides is really high, especially when you cast them on your support. It's going to be like their entire health bar.
You know what I noticed about Prime Poke back then? First of all, he doesn't even edit out anything. He is just like non-stop saying everything on his mind immediately, like without a script. He just be yapping, bro. Second of all, bro, he says a lot, which is something that, okay, this is just like personally speaking, as someone that has been like streaming for a while, right? I am very conscious when it comes to the gaps in my speech. And this is very clear, like when I first started, like I say a lot. Like hey guys, you know, but nowadays I pace myself, right? Pacing will be a very good way, especially if you're gonna be a speaker for your school, like your project, right? Or like you're doing a presentation for your boss or your colleagues. Pacing is extremely important. Like, you not saying a, e, o, it will make you sound more assertive and confident, right? So thank you, Prime Poke, for showing me what I was like way back in the days. Thank you.
How high the shield is. So definitely raise March. And after coming to that, you only have these three things to build with, right? So how do you allocate Fire MC, Natasha, and March? So this will depend on what type of attacks the enemies are using. So in this case, I know that for Japat, he's more like an single target dealer, as well as this boss, the Silverman Lieutenant. They're both more or less single target damage. The only AoE that
insanely fucking annoying, by the way.
Two bosses have.
There was this move like counter, right?
Winter or something
if you
like
had
that.
like
Does
an
this
AoE
AoE
hit,
slam on the ground,
and you hit that bubble,
but other than that,
he literally
everything
just
else
one-shots you as bashing as you.
That he summoned, they're all single target.
That guy
and he also
back
has
then was
this pretty painful single target
insane.
thrust.
It was like wave 2 right before like
high
Japan.
demand for single target, it would be an excellent choice to place much over here.
Back in
and
my
our
days.
remaining team is going to be
But
Natasha on
nowadays,
top.
yeah, I will never
And
feel
this
it
last spot,
because your
naturally
E1
will
free
come
Archer
from
and DHPD will just
so
one
this is
shot
how
the
I
buckle.
construct my team. Of course, the unit order is matters as well. You always ideally want your tank to be at the side. So this is going to look something like this.
Wow, unit
like
order.
Natasha, Jingyuan, Tingyun, and us.
Wow, unit
Yeah.
order is
And then
crazy.
for Japan, it's gonna be Fire MC, March, Silly, and Bronya. So this is gonna be ideally how your team runs. You always want your tank or the highest health units all the way at the side, so that when they're taking aggression, your carries do not take any damage at all. The next to them will be like your sub tank or like your healer.
Okay, you know what's crazy?
Right,
Like,
which can stay
unironically,
beside
right? Like,
Fire
this
MC
was
because
like really good suggestion if you couldn't tank. But like nowadays, you actually want your tanks to be in the middle, because no one actually faces sustained pressure anymore. Unless your name is Huawei, right? Okay, I guess not even that much, but like you actually want your tanks to be in the middle. So if there's AoE, there's a higher likelihood that the rest of units can get free energy. But back in my days, we were like so desperate to survive. Like we couldn't even keep ourselves alive. We wanted to take as little damage as humanly possible, right? So that is the duality of ages.
Tankier than Silly and Bronya. And Jingyuan, I placed her beside Natasha because Jingyuan is tankier than Tingyuan and Asta because they're so freaking squishy. But this might change in the future.
Squish.
If, I get more developments in my team and Asta's gear. But for now, Jingyuan's going to stay at the side. And honestly, Jingyuan can appreciate the extra hits
China
because
is gonna stay at the side.
the energy that is provided to them.
Sorry for the
very, very useful.
notification
Okay, so
sound.
that's essentially
Bro,
my
Prime
team
Poke
comp
is
for
so thoughtful.
MOC1.
Thank you, Prime Poke.
And
That's very
very
nice.
straightforward. And let's go ahead into MOC2.
Oh.
Now, MOC2. This boss is gonna be one big robot and one bigger robot. Right? This is the AoE boss and this is a single target boss. And this boss is just two
Bro,
of
you didn't
these,
say fat.
wind horse thingy.
You didn't say fat
For
fuck,
this
bro.
team, also as you can
Big
see,
and bigger
there is
robot.
not much we can work with around here, but we can see that this team is weak to thunder because they're both weak to thunder. So
Thunder.
an excellent choice would be, as we mentioned, if that boss is weak to something, you want to place the element that they are weak against. So Jinyan can deal excellently with both
Thunder
targets, and
damage.
Also, it works really well with this automaton grizzly, the fat boss, because he summons a lot of the detonation of the little tiny robots.
Bro,
so
he couldn't
Jinyan
hold-
having
bro,
the
he couldn't
multiplayer
hold
can
back,
also
bro.
help the mobs with,
He
quite a lot.
tried to
So
be
because
nice,
that,
but
Jinyan is
bro,
gonna be
when the
below,
buckle
and
is
our CD team
fat,
is
you
gonna
gotta
be
call it
and
for what
just
it
form
is.
our core supports after that. Right. So it's gonna be here. It's gonna be here and here. Right. So then for this one, because
Hell
this
no,
team is
thank
weak
you
to
so
fire,
much on the rate.
and
Thank
also,
you.
he does a lot of single target hits.
We are
Other than the
watching
wind shear ability where he
2023.
triggers
This
this arrow and
2023, I
hits,
believe.
everybody
Yeah,
in
it's
the team.
2023 Poke. Yeah, it's throwback. I'm currently in the US, so
other than
we're
that wind shear.
defaulting
So
to
because of
our
this, we're gonna be
US setup
swapping
at
Fire
this
MC for
moment.
much.
Thank you.
And then
Oh, we had a
team, we're
great
gonna be
stream.
placing Natasha. And Natasha also works really well with this boss because even though this is single target, but this boss is not as hard as this boss. This boss is really, really hard. And his
Ooh,
perch
you know what
order,
else is
which does
hard?
a
My-
huge AoE damage to our entire team. Natasha is going to really be able to help with this because March 7 is not going to be able to cover everything that this guy throws out when it comes to AoE output. So, yep, this is my team for phase 2. MOC2,
very debatable, I
not
see.
really difficult as
I
well,
agree.
as long as your degree of build is well enough. I think I've cleared this when I was level 60 as well. So, definitely not an issue. Now, going to MOC3. This is where difficulties start to get a little bit more difficult than 1 and 2, but
little
still
bit
manageable
more
as compared to the
difficult.
later stages.
Right.
So as you can see over here,
Just a little bit.
the bosses here, this guy is weak to quantum and fire. Right? So naturally, even though, so naturally we're gonna be
Bro,
placing
like
our side team.
elemental
We're gonna be
advantage
sealing
was okay.
on
Like I
and
swear,
on
like
top,
this is like
since
such a
this-
great example of like why Silver Wolf back in 1.1. It was like such a huge thing. And like, if you actually put Silver Wolf back in 1.1, there was no way it was a waste of course. Because elemental advantage was the only way you had to try and deal the corresponding damages. So not only did Silver allow you to have a very, very limited roster of DPS units you had, it basically allowed you to be like way more universal on either sides. So if you did pull Silver Wolf like objectively when she came out, it would have been the right call, right? It would have not been the greedy and stupid decision, essentially. Even if you just get E0 as 0, right? So very, very
Boss
nice. It's like
doesn't
every
really
single
have a
thing I
weakness
say
that
for
we
my
can
end game is like
these guys
the elements,
these guys
right?
weak to quantum,
Element.
These guys weak to lightning, right? But since
yeah.
our bottom boss is already weak to quantum, we're gonna definitely be placing City below. Then on top, we're gonna be placing Jingyuan with our Jingyuan supports, Asa and Tingyun. Now, do we decide on Natasha or March for okay? This time,
Bro, back in
this
my
guy's
days,
definitely running Fire MC. So
we have no
just
such thing
a matter of
as
do you want
E1
Natasha
team
on top or do you want
or
Natasha,
like even
Natasha
E1
in the
button.
bottom? So if you take a look at the team here, both of these bosses, they do quite a considerable amount of AoE damage. This guy has the Ever Frosting Winter or something, I think, which is an AoE hit, And this guy also does this, not a very, very strong AoE, because, okay, actually this boss is not even that difficult. As long as you clear all his mobs, right?
Try
he
using
doesn't
these
really do that much damage. If you are not able to kill his mobs and he devour one the
I mean, we
other
technically
golden
just
minions
zero
and charges
cycled.
up this huge
No, we
single target
did
damage,
just
then
zero
that's gonna be a
cycle.
problem. But as
On
long
our
as you clear
first
his
try,
mobs,
by
it's
the
gonna
way.
be fine. So, and since
On
we're
our
already
first try.
running Silly, which clears mobs exceptionally well, it's not going to be that much of an issue. So we really, really need to worry about this guy, which the Frigid Winter is, the Everlasting Winter is quite painful. So because of this, we will be running Natasha in the below.
Chat, I'm gonna be keeping it
And on
up.
top,
If I don't
this
have the
guy is single
subtitles,
target. And this guy
no idea what the fuck
is
you're saying, bro.
technically AoE, but this guy is supposed to
Hey,
freeze. And they're
no,
both
is it not bad? Is it
we're gonna be placing much
really?
on top. So that's how my, like, I hope you guys can understand my thought process here. Like, how
I
put
hope
my
you guys.
teams,
But I have no
suiting
fucking
to
idea what. Okay,
which
but okay,
content, which
I get.
bosses, which
Because of the
weaknesses, and what
subtitle
kind of
is like a little bit
try to,
better,
like,
right? It's a little bit better.
mold your team to fit into the criteria.
Mold.
Yeah, so this is essentially the team I used for phase 3. And now for phase 4. Now 4 and 5 onwards, it's really gonna be not that straightforward. It took me quite a while to get 3 stars. Especially 3 stars, because having no down characters for a team with relatively low quality supports is gonna be very, very difficult. Especially when your Asta team are very weak, which is where I am right now. Right. So with that being said, now take a look over here. This guy is the guy with the I think the stacks, the golden order stacks. And this guy is the boss guy. So that's that.
Holy!
And
9,593.
of MOC1.
4,000.
So MOC4 actually
Holy
is just the exact
shit,
repeat
though.
of MOC1.
That is some
Just
crazy
using
shit, bro.
They just have slightly higher stats, but they
Oh
don't really
my
change the
goodness.
outcome of the match that much. So we're just
Bro,
gonna do
even the
same thing.
UI
Right, so
changed
next for MOC5.
so much.
MOC5,
from
I
like back
would
in those
say
days.
it's not super difficult, but you definitely need to be careful to reach.
Oh,
3
that
stars
is
because,
crazy, bro.
This guy's perch.
Holy, they line up just. Oh, it's not line lock. It's not line lock.
Weaknesses exactly aligns with our
Oh,
2
that is crazy damage.
on top, and we're definitely gonna be running the genuine comp below. And our genuine comp, you know how
10,000
squishy our team
damage.
Asta are. So if this guy's
10,000
perch
damage.
order or he lands
Absolutely
like this,
fucking
single target
insane.
damage into your supports, it might be a little bit difficult to have no down characters, but
That is
just
good.
need to grind a
Bro,
little
the
bit of
UI
RNG,
actually
not super
changed. I
difficult
didn't
as
notice the
well.
UI changed for like the cycle remaining.
Once this is down here, we can just go ahead and place our support, which is on Natasha, because we really need the AoE heal to deal with the fat robot. The fat robot always pairs with Natasha, essentially. Then on top, we just go with our Fire MC.
The fat
So
fuck.
this is a team I use for stage 5. Right, so
I mean, he
our
is
final
fat, right?
stage, stage 6 now.
Ooh.
Stage 6, MOC 6, I'm having difficulty because of this particular boss. The Searing Prowler boss.
Oh, the
This boss,
Searing
the mechanic
Prowler.
is, his very first turn, he does 1 hit, and his next turn, he does 1 hit that has an AoE, which affects 2 units. Then his third turn is going to be charging this thing called Mania, which immediately follows up with a huge AoE that hits your entire team, all 4 units.
see.
And the downtime,
Pela,
or
level
rather the
24
action
is
value
one of the
differences
best
between your
supports. I
Mania,
would say Pela was
between his
really,
Mania,
really good,
which is
yeah.
the charge, and his
Defense was
ultimate
super good.
is really, really small. I think it's less than 30 or 40 action value.
This
So
is-
there's
you mean
really
this
no
one?
time for you to try to interject or try to break them.
I have
Like
it.
if you can break them
I
with
always
your
have
Mania,
all my
then that would
things.
be ideal. But if you cannot break them, the only way my team at least can survive both of them
Why is the
outing at
man
the same
that
time
called
after
us so
Mania
rude?
is for Natasha
Bro,
to
how
slot
am I
in her
rude?
heal. Right.
Bro, I'm
after the
adding
first
comment. Holy
Searing
shit,
Prowler
did he just get one
cast
shot?
his ultimate, my Natasha's out has to be up,
He just got one shot, right?
outing at the same time after Mania is for Natasha to slot in her heal. Right.
Oh, you know what happened over here? Yeah, bro didn't bring a DHPD. Right, bro didn't bring a global passive, right? Because this buckle right there is playing Honkai God Rail before the predatory things came out, right? We have no such thing. So if you get one shot because you are running in Natasha, then it is what it is.
After the first Searing Prowler cast his ultimate, my Natasha's
Oh,
out
I
has
should
to
have
be
got
up
a higher
to cast
scene
her
progress,
ultimate
alright,
immediately,
bro.
so that
Yes,
it can
alright.
heal my team's HP back to
Bro, I
moderately
should have
high
just
again
used my
to
well.
tank the second boss.
I should have used
if
well
not, my
sustain.
teammate Asta
Then I
will
could have just
straight up
delayed
die.
all of them.
As you
Yeah,
can see
you're
from the clip later that I'm going to attach, they just straight up die from all the way at full HP if I take them both at their charged up ultimate. So definitely an issue. And it's an issue that I'm trying to fix right now. I think it's definitely doable as long as I try to time my break right. If I don't time my break right, then I need to make sure that my Natasha has an ultimate
Bro,
after the
I
first
like
ultimate.
that
So
one guy saying
that's that for
light
stage 6.
code
The
diff.
first stage is actually not that difficult.
What
You just
the
run the
fuck is
standard
light
Searing
code diff, bro?
Fire MC
But
and
okay.
Match Team. So it's really not that difficult. And then our second team is just gonna be this. So until I clear this, I don't think I'll be able to post the video because, as I said a lot of times, I'll be going overseas this week. But maybe if I can record it on the phone, I'll let you guys know. But,
wait, where the fuck
right now,
did I even
my
go?
progress is gonna be stuck at phase 6.
Where
But
did
I
I
think
even
it's
go?
definitely doable before Sunday ends, because by then I think my entire team should be.
How the
at
hell
level
did I
70,
even go
so maybe that'll
overseas
get a
back
little
in
bit
those
easier.
days?
Who knows? But yeah. So yeah, that was essentially my clear for this week's MOC. I don't think it's a super difficult task, but
TLDR, Silla and Qingyuan carry. Bronya FMC with
difficulty is just
Silla.
only gonna get higher once
You
you reach
shoot
MOC 7, 8, 9,
hook
10,
or
because those
survive.
stages you will definitely
Wow,
need at least a Japan
wow,
or
that
Bailu.
is
If not,
crazy.
having much alone will not be able to help deal with the huge
Oh,
amount
that
of
is
AoE that your second
absolutely
team is gonna do.
crazy.
And Natasha maybe still can make it, but honestly, even Natasha's healing is not that great. Like you really desperately need a Japan.
Rate that guy when you're done, bro. He looks like a pretty cool guy.
So until that happens, we'll just see
Bro,
where
he's
it
a
goes.
pretty
I don't think
handsome guy as well, bro. I would drop 100 give these
that much even
right
with the
now.
Silver Wolf
I
banner
believe
coming
his
up.
Twitch channel is twitch.tv/MrPokke, by the way. Yeah, so I will drop like 100 give these.
Or
Absolutely.
I get
A
Rosh's banner,
small time
which is gonna
streamer
be
anyways.
another, like 6 or 5 weeks away
6?
from now.
Oh,
Until that day
okay.
happens, more or less. Also, of
Bro,
course,
if
we need to
Bros
look
at
at the
6,
buffs,
I
right?
would have
'Cause
fucking
right now
died,
the
bro.
buffs is favoring erudition
Oh,
and
that
100
is
so my
crazy.
is definitely doing the work. But next week onwards, there will definitely be a different buff, because I think buffs are monthly things.
Bars. And with that, we are gonna come into the end of my MOC progression 01. No Bailu and Japart by the bucko named MrPokke from... Where was this, by the way? When was this? When did this video come up? 25th of May 2023. Hashtag gacha, hashtag Honkai Star Rail, and hashtag Trailblazer, right? So let's just drop this guy a like, because he is a up and coming content creator come streamer at the same time. So word of the day is going to be no Bailu Japart. Join Discord, use code POKE for 10% off gamer stuff. All the best for your gacha food, and I'll see you guys later.